それではお時間となりましたので、これよりグローバル展開する保険事業へのブロックチェーン活用をテーマに、お二方によるトークセッションをお届けしたいと思います。まずお一人目は、デロイトトーマツコンサルティング合同会社金融インダストリーアソシエイトディレクター園部光弘様です。園部様、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。大きな拍手でお迎えください。よろしくお願いいたします。そしてお二人目は SBI ホールディングス執行役員ブロックチェーン推進室長 SBI-R3 ジャパン代表取締役藤本守様です。藤本様、よろしくお願いいたします。ご着席ください。それではここからはモデレーターを務めていただきます藤本様にお任せしたいと思います。お願いいたします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。SBI-R3 ジャパンの代表の藤本です。本日は、保険分野への DLT 適用についてですね、いくつかの事例を、皆様にご紹介差し上げたいと思います。で、私と一緒に今日登壇していただけるのは、デロイトトーマツコンサルティングの園部様です。じゃあ一言ちょっと自己紹介。
はい、デロイトトーマツコンサルティング金融インダストリーで主にブロックチェーンのソリューションの推進ご支援をさせていただいております園部と申します。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。で、今日は2つ海外からの事例をご紹介して、でその後に園部さんの、ところから事例の紹介をいただきたいんですけれども、最初はですね、B3I というこれ保険のコンソーシアム、の方の、ご紹介、それから2つ目はレジャーテックというこれは保険のソリューション、こちらのご紹介を、差し上げたいと思います。ではまず、B3I のCEO のジョン・キャロリーンの方から、これは事前録画ですけれども、プレゼンをしてもらっているのでそちらをご覧ください。よろしくお願いします。
Hello everyone, and thank you very much for this opportunity to present B3I to you today. I look forward to giving you my insights into DLT and hope you leave with a better understanding of B3I and its role that it's playing in transforming the global insurance industry. So today there are a few things I want to cover. Firstly, I'd like to talk to you about B3I. Then I want to talk to you about the role of B3I in the global insurance industry. After that, I'd like to talk to you about the role of distributed ledger technology in helping us transform the global insurance industry. And then lastly, I'd like to talk about where this technology is in the adoption curve and how we at B3I think about this and aim to accelerate adoption. So let me start with B3I. B3I is far more than just a technology company. We came together in 2016 as a global insurance industry initiative to create a market utility leveraging distributed ledger technology and to reduce costs and facilitate growth. We were incorporated as a company in early 2018 and are now owned by 20 shareholders on 5 continents. During this time, more than 50 companies and 250 domain specialists have contributed to the establishment of B3I. We no longer a startup, we employ 50 people and we've long moved past the initial consortium and we're now a company that has live applications and we're working on a number of fronts on multiple opportunities within the global insurance industry. So why does B3I exist? What I'll do now is I'll show you a short video that explains the problem that we're trying to solve and then I'll dive into it in a bit more detail myself.
Insurance has a problem, an admin costs problem. The industry is a highly connected network of multi-party syndicated contracts that require the frequent exchange of large volumes of data. The processes that support this are ill-equipped to do this in an efficient way. This leads to the unnecessary waste of resources, contract uncertainty, and ultimately more expensive insurance. This is the admin cost problem. At B3I, we are building the insurance network of the future, and we call it B3I Fluidity. B3i Fluidity is a network and ecosystem which will house B3i and partner applications built for the market, offer more secure transactions, and facilitate smoother interactions between brokers, insurers, and reinsurers. The B3i network will integrate actors and services across the entire insurance value chain. This means information can be shared with authorized parties simply in one ecosystem where the right people have access to the right data at the right time. Our technology allows our customers to use applications built by B3i and approved third parties or build their own bespoke applications. B3i Fluidity is built on distributed ledger technology, enabling customers to keep complete ownership of their data and yet have all the benefits of shared business processes. This technology ensures parties have one shared, indisputable view of data, creating a single source of truth. B3i's first showcase application built on top of B3i Fluidity is a catastrophe excess of loss solution, which will ultimately manage the administration of the full contract lifecycle. This features workflows that are automated and transactions which are secure. It also includes integrated messaging to facilitate real-time interaction and the exchange of unstructured data across workflows. Our products and the B3i Fluidity platform will allow interfaces to current systems to leverage existing technology investments, and B3i is currently working with partners who are also developing their own applications to deploy within the B3i network. At B3i, we believe secure and automated business processes shared across multiple contracting parties will drive market-level efficiency. Higher levels of automation driven by smart contract features will further amplify efficiency gains. Trusted, private, and permissioned data and a single version of the truth will remove the need for error-prone manual reconciliations and allow new, better, and cheaper products that delight customers. A decentralized network and healthy ecosystem will allow bottom-up change, accelerate digital transformation, and create new business opportunities. This is your network, your ecosystem, and it can be better. This is B3i Fluidity, an end-to-end ecosystem to transform the way we interact.
So, with the admin cost problem that we're seeking to solve, I show you here a picture taken this year in one of our customers' companies. These are real files that represent reinsurance contracts that are exchanged, physical documents with wet signatures that are still exchanged today. The problem with insurance is that it's hampered by legacy processes that are decades old. And if it's not physical files, then it's hundreds and thousands of emails that are sent between parties when they contract. These legacy processes and communication systems have evolved to improve quality, whilst things have only gotten worse as they've laid layer and layer of checks and balances to address these inefficiencies. If we look at the average reinsurance or large commercial insurance company, they have 35% of their non-corporate costs sit in back office. You don't solve this problem by just adding more people. Adding more people comes at the expense of new opportunities, new growth markets, and designing innovative new products. B3i wants to free these companies from this overly burdensome admin problem and allow them to focus on growth opportunities. At B3i, we believe that by solving market-level inefficiencies, we can free up companies to focus on these new growth opportunities. So a little bit more on how these problems manifest themselves. This admin problem manifests itself in manual and paper-based processes that lead to high transaction costs. There's a lot of error and rework, and ultimately it results in a poor customer experience. Secondly, it leads to lack of standardization, and you have a lot of data that is lost from risk to capital. This increases complexity, it brings in additional capital costs, and then lastly, there's so many different sources of data with minimal system integration, which doesn't allow the insurance industry, which is a network of connected parties, to act as a network. There's also a high degree of contract uncertainty, and really this results in products that are far too costly. And when the industry looks at where the growth opportunities exist, primarily in parts of Asia and Africa, where they have what they call a protection gap. People with economic interests who can't afford to insure their economic interests. The high cost of distribution and the cost of contract admin mean that these markets are difficult to address, and we hope to change that. So let me talk about the role of DLT in addressing this. And what I'd like to share with you is a quote from one of our board members at B3I. He is the head of Global Blockchain Center of Competence at Allianz Technology, the world's largest insurance company. And he says, "It is difficult to overstate the impact that embracing new ways of conducting business will have on the financial service industry. This is evidenced by the remarkable efficiency gains demonstrated by initial results. In some cases, complex claim settlement times have been reduced from weeks to hours or even minutes. These results are due to companies' sharing of standards, infrastructure, and operations of the platforms that they interact across." This comes from Bob Crozier, one of our board members at Allianz. So how is B3I doing this? What are we doing? We often talk about network, platform, ecosystem. First, we establish the network, and the network exists around our founding members, the 20 shareholders and our customers that are counterparts around our initial product, natural catastrophe excess of loss placement solution. We have reinsurers and insurers that transact for that product. So it's a great place to achieve critical mass in a niche and establish the network. So once the network is established, then we build the platform. The platform is really the standards and protocols and the services that we provide. And our platform is a DLT platform based upon R3's Corda framework. Then the ecosystem. The ecosystem is a functionally rich ecosystem of partner applications that we seek to enable by providing the ability to rapidly develop applications, lots of functionality for end users, and where B3I is an enabler to accelerate the development of applications for customers. Our role in the ecosystem isn't to build end user functionality. It's to curate the ecosystems, to ensure standards. Key to us, one of those standards is interoperability. It's why we use Corda, because of their vision around interoperability and the global Corda network. But we also think of interoperability both within the broader ecosystem of the global Corda network and many industry verticals. But another aspect of that that is important to us is interoperability within the insurance industry. Risk is originated through often primary insurance policies, and then also through large corporate policies. And these cascade through the insurance industry, where they are sliced and diced and shared amongst multiple parties in large, complex, syndicated transactions. And we believe that an industry data model that has a common definition of risk and events and contracts allows risk to move through the insurance ecosystem far more efficiently. And it's our aim to remove much of that friction by establishing the standards that are important to us. The new growth that I've spoken about, which comes from selling insurance in new ways and interacting with customers in different ways, is also one of the key aspects that's important for interoperability. We already see emerging opportunities with other networks where, for example, Marco Polo, another Corda-based DLT network in trade finance, has a requirement for insurance. And many of our customers and shareholders provide those services today in a far more analog way. And to be able to be an additional distribution channel for those same insurance products to existing customers is important for them in the future. But there are also trends within the insurance industry where we see the way insurance being sold very differently. An example would be transport or mobility, where we expect a trend of driverless cars and transport or mobility as a service to mean that there's less ownership of vehicles, and ultimately insurance companies will no longer interface directly with the consumer that buys that application, but you would expect rather the provider of the service to access risk capital, insurance capital in a very new and digital way. And much of B3I's ecosystem is there to allow a very old and conservative industry to digitally transform to enable new types of insurance in the future. So how do we accelerate adoption of this key foundational technology, DLT? I think change happens very, very slowly and then all at once. You wake up in a new world and change is upon you. It isn't linear. Before you know it, the future has arrived. And I think it's important as CEO of B3I, I don't see our role as hypothesizing about what the future will bring, but rather having the clarity of purpose to concretely build the future. We're there to make this happen. And it's very important to understand that we haven't done this alone. This isn't something that's been dreamt up in our garages as a startup. We often have this, refer to this ethos at B3I that we are by the market, for the market. I have a picture in my presentation of an event that was held with our customers. It was a testing hackathon, where we had many of our customers from insurers, reinsurers, brokers, all assembled over a 2-day period to try and break our software. And the energy in that room was palpable. The excitement in that room was palpable. And it was interesting for me that at a time where I'm wanting us to be more disciplined about being customer-centric and focus on the needs of the customer, I had pushback from one of our customers, one of our shareholders, who had said they didn't think they were a customer, that they felt that this was their product. They built it. They collaborated with us. They don't like the idea of an arm's length customer relationship. So they're deeply embedded in our process by which we do this. And I think that's a very key aspect of successful adoption. I think one needs a number of things. You need strategic buy-in, so high level top-down buy-in, but one ultimately needs bottom-up buy-in too. One needs users that engage with your product, that are delighted by your product, that see the features that they want. And so it's very important that one does both this, gets top-down strategic buy-in and bottom-up user engagement. And I think understanding who one deals with within customers or potential customer organizations is very important. So I broadly classify our engagement as either strategic or innovation or business. And I think about them very differently. So because of B3I's role in the transformation of the global insurance industry, we have a lot of strategic buy-in. We exist to future-proof the insurance incumbents and to allow them to digitally transform so that they can interact amongst themselves more effectively. But one won't successfully drive adoption of products if the users ultimately aren't excited about your products. If people don't feel that what you build addresses their daily need, one runs into challenges. Innovation budget is something that we have a lot of interest because of blockchain as a emerging technology, or DLT as emerging technology, but it's often quite fickle. And I would ask the question of any company where they think about us as innovation, how they think about innovation. Do they think about innovation as something that they should be doing, or do they think about innovation as the part of the company that is going to generate new lines of revenue in the next 10 years? Is it part of business that needs to cannibalize their existing business? How do they allocate budget to innovation? So really, the questions I am getting to are, is innovation of strategic importance to you, or do you simply think it's the right thing to do? And if innovation is strategically important to you, I'm much more comfortable engaging with that type of innovation department. But really, the most honest engagement comes from the business, comes from the people asking the tough questions about return on investment, from the people saying, if I look at 18 months, 2 years, or however long, what is the payback period for my investment in this technology? And so it's important that one addresses any cost concerns about new technologies being expensive. But really, if you can pass the test of operations and business, it's really the most important thing. And this is where I think another very important thing is understanding any business's key strategic priorities. So whilst we talk about administrative cost and efficiency is something that every business wants to become more efficient. But when it comes down to key priorities, top line growth is often more important. So when people are pushed to make a decision, and at the moment we see people's priorities being reshuffled, businesses are more excited about innovation, about technology that creates new opportunities for them than they are about taking cost out of existing businesses. So again, when we think about our network, we think about how we can create new opportunities, how the industry can address the protection gap, rather than a pure efficiency play. And I think that is one of the key elements of getting people excited about the future of this industry. It's about talking about developments in adjacent industries, and where if the existing incumbents, our existing shareholders and customers don't adopt this technology, they won't be able to service their customers, large commercial customers that use this technology to provide provenance over their supply chain, where they've got digital twins of assets that they want to insure. And they then reach out to business partners, insurers, to provide coverage for that. Those that adopt this technology are well positioned to be able to better serve their customers. And people are always looking for ways to delight their customers. I think another key aspect to adoption is understanding that this is just change management. This is about dealing with people and their fears, and sometimes this technology gives them cause for concern about their own roles. And so being open to understanding how people feel about this and addressing their specific needs, I think is very key to ensuring that people use this technology. I think one last closing point is, I'd say, as a CEO of a business, I don't think one ever builds a successful business on early adopters. There are a lot of people that come to technology because they have an itch to scratch. It's an intellectual exercise. They're interested in learning, but really one builds a sustainable business by business people who want to use the technology. And that is a key focus for us. It's why I, as the leader of B3I, want us to focus on customers and solving customers' problems and making sure that we use the right technology at the right time to solve those problems of our customers. I think really that's what I want to leave you with today. And I look forward to any outreach you may have to B3I to learn more.
ありがとうございました。すいません、長いビデオだったんですけれども、彼、アダプションをどうやって早く進めるのかっていう話で、最初は徐々に進むんだけど、急に変わるっていうふうには言ってたんで、 じゃあ一体急に変わるのはいつだって聞いたら、それは2021年だって言っていたんでですね、ちょっと来年まで楽しみに待とうと思います。次にレジャーテック、これは新しい保険のソリューション、新しいというのか、実は昔の保険をデジタルでやるとこうなるっていうソリューションなんですけれども、エランは実は1回ビデオを撮った後にですね、海の前で撮り直させてくれと言ってわざわざ違うビデオをもう一回送ってきたんで、ちょっとこう海のザザザっていう音が少し入りますけど、少し雑音が入っているのを、聞きながらですね、エランの、プレゼンテーションをお聞きください。よろしくお願いします。
皆様こんにちは。はじめまして、エランです。どうぞよろしく。Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eran. I'm the co-founder and chief executive officer of Legitech. And at Legitech, we've developed a digital insurance framework. We started about 2 years ago working together with our insurance companies and systems integration partners as design partners to deliver the Legitech digital insurance framework, blockchain-based. We started with some use cases around health insurance and motor insurance, and recently we've launched our parametric and peer-to-peer insurance solution, which is based on the Coda Ledger. Our insurance solution takes advantage of the blockchain infrastructure, things like increased transparency, increased security. What you see is what I see, and being able to share information across the entire insurance ecosystem. We help to simplify the way people consume insurance. We shortens the end-to-end customer journey, and we make the whole process of consuming insurance much faster and user-friendlier. Insurance companies can define new insurance products in a much faster way, in a matter of hours and days versus months and years, which this is how it used to take. The customer is communicating with the insurance company or the insurance broker through a digital app on his mobile. We have an API to the existing policy administration system that helps the interaction between the insurance company and the customer environment. We have a business rules engine, smart contract engines, and mechanisms to improve fraud detection and prevention by managing the entire ecosystem, data, etc. on the blockchain environment. In the example you're going to see in a minute, Suzuki-san, about 50 years old, he lives in the Tokyo prefecture, and he's about to acquire a parametric insurance solution based on the Legitech platform. You will see the demo, how he interacts with his insurance company, getting a fully digital experience, where he receives a new offer for pandemic insurance from his insurance provider. The offer is received on his mobile app. He can fill in his information, his personal details, and based on that, he will receive a quote. It's provided by the insurance company for the period he selected to get coverage for COVID-19. Parametric insurance is micro-insurance. It's normally an additional to an existing health insurance and so on, to cover some risks. He gets the offer on his mobile app. He can sign it, and as soon as he did, he pays the premium, either with PayPal, credit card, or mobile payment system, and the insurance policy is active. Now, in the parametric insurance, the minute that something happened, the minute that the insurance event occurs, he doesn't have to submit a claim. We're going to emulate the rise of COVID-19 level in the Tokyo prefecture, and as soon as it happens, claim is automatically being triggered and a payment is being transferred to his PayPal account, Suzuki-san will be notified, and as soon as he checks his PayPal account, we will see that the money is already there. Parametric insurance can be used for many cases: supplemental for health insurance, for pandemic, flood insurance, earthquake, crop insurance, and so on. At Legitech, we provide solutions both for traditional insurance companies and traditional insurance products as you know them today: home insurance, motor insurance, health insurance, where we help to automate the quote-to-claim process. We make it more efficient. We provide automated underwriting capabilities, automated claim settlement, and we shorten the end-to-end customer journey. However, our primary focus is on the new world. In the new world, we introduce new types of insurance solutions, like parametric solutions and peer-to-peer solutions, peer-to-peer insurance. We've discussed parametric insurance at length, and we've seen the demo. But in the peer-to-peer insurance, it's a group of people joining together to share a risk. This is basically going back to basics. This is how insurance started hundreds of years ago, where a pool of people put their money together in order to cover them from different risks. Started with merchants sending ships all over the globe, and today with peer-to-peer insurance, a group of people that share the same passions, for example, for paramedics on motorcycles, or certain type of classic cars, or whatever, can share the risk and take the advantages of blockchain in order to manage the consortium, manage the decision of who is going to be admitted into the pool, whether claims are going to be paid or not, and basically having consensus management between them. We've also implemented our solutions successfully with several customers. Bharti AXA in India is an example of how we help them to automate motor insurance claims, performing automated analysis of damage, and managing the entire claim processing in an automated fashion, helping them do it with over 20,000 claims per month. Thank you very much for joining me.
すいません、ちょっと手違いでですね、本当はここにスライドがずっと映ってる予定で、喋ってるだけできっと皆さん何のこっちゃって思ったかもしれないんですがですね、彼今2つの保険の事例を紹介してくれて、1つはパラメトリックインシュランスって言って、例としてはCOVID-19 にじゃあ罹患した時に自動的に保険料が払われるっていうちょっとアプリケーションのデモが本当は入っていたはずなんですけれども、すいません、ちょっとこちらの手違いで。そういう自動的に保険のクレームのトリガーがかかって支払われるっていうようなものと、それから最後にちょっとバイクの音がうるさかったんですけど、彼バイク保険の話で、これ具体的にはハーレー・ダビッドソンとかのね、そういうコミュニティの相互扶助の保険、これ P2P 保険っていうんですけど、これのソリューションを持っていて、これはある意味今の保険制度ができるもっと昔の相互扶助制度としてできていたようなものを P2P で実現できるんじゃないかって、こういうソリューションを彼が作っているので、どっちかというとオールドインシュランスじゃなくて、彼が今言ってたのはニューワールド、新しい保険、今の保険業法に実は P2P が保険業法に入るか入れないかっていうのは、これは法令上は微妙なところではあるんですけど、そういったソリューションというのができるんじゃないかということで今、DLT を使ってやってると、こういう紹介でした。すいません、なんかこちらの手違いでスライドがなかったんで分かりづらかったと思いますけど、後ほどサイトの方にはアップロードしておきたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。じゃあすいません、お待たせいたしました。園部さんの方からでは、今デロイトトーマスさんが取り組まれている、保険の取り組みについてご紹介いただきます。よろしくお願いします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。それでは本日私の方からブロックチェーン技術を用いた、死亡情報共有のプラットフォームの可能性ということで、我々の取り組み事例をご紹介させていただこうと思います。よろしくお願いします。はい。 簡単に自己紹介を再度させていただきます。私、園部と申します。デロイトトーマツでは金融インダストリーのブロックチェーンチームというところで主にブロックチェーンを金融機関であったりだとか、金融機関以外のいろんな各業界に対してですね、コンソーシアムの企画運営であったり、ユースケースの一緒に考えたりだとか、あるいは実装だとか、直近ですと、今これよりからご紹介させていただきます、保険コンソーシアムの企画運営であったりだとか、あるいは貿易情報連携基盤、貿易にブロックチェーンを活用するだとか、あるいはデジタル証券、この前のセッションでもお話ありましたが STO のビジネスなんかを中心にご支援させていただいております。それでは早速コンテンツに入らせていただきます。はい、ちょっと見にくいので、はい、まずですね、こちら、生命保険業界を中心としたソリューションでございますと。で、生命保険業界の取り巻く事業環境について整理させていただいております。まずはですね、行政全体ということで、社会問題、SDGs であったりだとか、社会問題の社会課題解決っていうのが求められるように、一企業の単なる利益追求ということではなくてですね、ポリティクスとしては社会課題の解決というのが求められる、生命保険会社にも求められる状況であると。で一方で金融行政といたしまして、顧客重視の経営姿勢を取るようにアナウンスされていたりだとか、いろんな自発的な各業界の創意工夫というのが求められ、より一層顧客を重視するような施策を取る必要が出てきたという状況でございます。で一方で経済面でございますが、こちらマイナス金利であったりだとか国内経済成長というのが鈍化してきたという中で、その左下のソサエティですが、こちら企業戦略自体を各保険会社さんが変える必要があると、考えていく必要があると、具体的には顧客の変化とご記載させていただいておりますが、より一層の顧客の利便性であったりだとか顧客体験の追求というのが求められるというふうな状況になっておりますと。で最後にテクノロジーの分野ですが、それらの要求であったり要請、こういうことを実現させたいというようなことを実現できるような技術的裏付けであったりだとか技術の進歩というのが背景として出てきたんじゃないかと考えており、より一層生命保険業界、生命保険会社として取り組むべきこととして大きく2つ挙げさせていただいております。一つが繰り返しになりますが、社会課題に対して業界横断的に対応するということが求められると。もう一つは徹底的な顧客サービスの向上、あるいは事業費の削減ということでこれらを生かすベースとして新技術を積極的に活用していくということが求められる状況になっていると考えております。はい、続きまして本日ご紹介させていただくユースケースのですね、社会課題の一つとして死亡時の遺族の手続きが負担が非常に大きいということを挙げさせていただいておりますと。高齢化社会というのがさらに推し進んでいってですね、ちょうどその死亡者数というのが右肩上がりになってきている状況であるということで、日本政府も人生100年だとかっていうふうに高齢化社会を対応していく政策っていうのを打たれておりますが、それに応じてですね、生命保険会社様もこういった一人暮らし高齢者数というのがかなり増えてきた中でいかに死亡手続き、煩雑であるというような手続き、顧客体験というのを変えていかなきゃいけないという必要が出てきたということが言えるのかなと考えております。はい、それではですね、はい、でこれまでじゃあ保険会社さんっていうのは特に何もやってこなかったのかっていうと、全然そんなことはなくてですね、 DX って一般的に言われているようなデジタライゼーションというのはかなり推し進めてこられましたと。でもうすでにここの図でお話しさせていただきます右半分の青の線の企業努力で短縮可能とご記載させていただいているエリア、いわゆるデータや書類を受け取ってからこちらすみません保険の支払い金保 死亡保険金の支払いのワークフローを記載させていただいているんですが、この保険者さんが亡くなりましたよというような情報を受け取ってからお支払いするまでっていうのはもうかなりデジタル化あるいは効率化っていうのを進められておりますと。で一方でこの赤の部分ですね、実際に病院や事故等で亡くなられた、あるいは事故が発生したというところから手続きを案内して書類等のやり取りが行われて最終的に保険会社さんが業務フローをスタートできるいわゆる死亡通知を受け取るっていうまでっていうのはなかなかこれまでは省力化であったりスピード化デジタル化っていうのが及んでなかったエリアじゃないかと我々考えています。そういった中で今後はですね、その企業の中だけではなくてですね、その企業がデータを受け取る前のプロセス顧客体験というのが重要なんじゃないか、その中でブロックチェーンを使ったソリューションを用いることによって顧客の手続きというのが簡便化あるいは合理化できるんじゃないかと考えております。はい、こちらがですね、今述べたようなことが実は北米ではもうすでに取り組まれておりまして、こちら北米でもですね保険金の未払いというのが社会問題となってましたと。地理的環境もですね、いろんな事務手続きを行うにも北米、かなり州によっては面積が広いということで、営業所であったりだとかそういった保険の代理店というのがくまなく配置されてないような州もあったということで社会問題となっておりましたと。でさらに米国や、北米ではですね未請求財産法というような法律呼ばれる法律がございまして、保険会社さんは直ちに残存している、死亡保険金を支払いなさいと、レギュレータリーの部分からも支払う要請があったというような背景で作られましたと。具体的にはこの真ん中のブロックチェーンというところで、デスマスターファイルと呼ばれている、ちょっと名称はちょっといかがなものかなというような部分もあるんですがそういったデスマスターファイルと呼ばれるブロックチェーン上の死亡情報を共有する仕組みを用いて作ってですね、それに対して病院であったりあるいは保険会社公共機関等が接続し情報をアップデートすることによっていわゆる死亡情報をよりタイムリーに確認できるというような状況を作ってまいりましたと。はい。で同じくですね我々日本に国内においてもですね、いろんな生命保険会社さんに参加いただいてですね同じようなブロックチェーンをベースにした死亡情報共有のプラットフォームを構築してですねそれらをいろんな機関やあるいはフィンテック企業さんなんかと共有することによってそういった課題を解決していけるんじゃないかと考えております。はい。こちらがですね、その技術的な背景となっておりますと、N 対 N、我々 N 対 N の関係と1対 N の関係というような話し方でいつもご説明させていただいているんですが、N 対 N のやり取りであったり情報交換なんかが発生するような仕組みというのは非常にブロックチェーンに向いているということが言えると思いますので、こういった死亡情報の共有においても活かせるんじゃないかと考えている次第でございます。はい。はい。はい、最後のスライドになりますけれども、こちらの死亡情報を共有することによって保険会社あるいは行政機関病院であったり、一番大事なのはこの顧客ですね、顧客の利便性であったりあるいは何か大規模な災害が起こった時にですね、迅速に速やかに死亡保険金が支払われるだとか、そういったユーザーの死亡確認みたいなのが迅速にできるというようなことがこのブロックチェーンで実現できると思って考えております。 本日のユースケースのご紹介以上となります。ありがとうございます。
はい、園部さんありがとうございました。ちょっと質問したかったんですが、実はもう時間を超過してしまって、今後の展開というところについて実はぜひお聞きしたかったんですが、もし5秒ぐらいで喋っていただければ、
今回はですね、死亡情報共有ということで進めさせていただいていますが、この死亡情報共有というのは、社会全体であったり多くの参加者の課題であるということで、こういうユースケースを進めさせていただいておりますと、同じ意味では例えば環境であったりだとか CO2 ブロックチェーンみたいなのを作ってですね、それに対していろんなパラメトリックだとかテレマティックだとかいろんな保険ソリューションとつなぎ合わせることによってよりその環境負荷であったり環境削減みたいなところにつなげることができるんじゃないかと考えております。はい、
どうもありがとうございました。すみません、長引いてしまいましたけれども、こちらのセッションは以上で終了とさせていただきます。どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございます。ご登壇いただきましたお二方に今一度大きな拍手をお送りください。ありがとうございました。